So here we're getting ready to start making our nickel plating solution. We have distilled white vinegar, some plain non-iodized salt, power supply. We have two 99% nickel rods, and I have not added the salt yet, so you guys can see the process. I'm going to start my power supply right around 12 volts. So right at 12 volts, you can see that it's 0.04 amps. On the negative side, the cathode, just barely see some bubbles. Right, we're not really conductive. So now we're going to add some salt. Just kind of add in. This will boost the conductivity of the vinegar. See, slowly the amperage is starting to go up. I grab a random piece of wood here, stir it up. See, as we stir in the salt, our amperage is going up. Until I get my desired amperage, I'm going to keep adding a little bit of salt. I'd like to see it around a half amp to start with. I may boost my voltage because this is a 1 gallon batch. There we go. Quarter amp. I'm not really worried about much debris in there right now because we will be straining it after the nickel acetate forms. Use it up to 0.36. Just a little bit more. I'm going to call that good. That's about maybe a tablespoon and a half for this gallon. And as the nickel gets deposited, my amperage will start to climb because we'll start to get metal particles inside, and they should be more conductive as we go. Alright, there's my half amp. And you can see inside, the positive is our anode, and the negative over here is starting to bubble. It's starting to get nickel drawn to it from the other nickel piece of nickel. And we're probably going to sit there and we're going to let this sit right at 12 volts, half amp, approximately 3 or 4 hours before we even check in on it. This process with lower voltage and lower amperage can take up to 8 hours, and you'll start to see that nice turquoise green. Alright, so here's our first step, and once she turns, I'll come back on here and show you guys the result of what it looks like, or what it should look like when it starts flowing. Alright guys, I'm back in the shop. I decided to go ahead and turn up the voltage, hovering right around 28, 29 volts, 1.5 amps. While you're in the shop, it is okay to turn it up. It's not a huge deal. When I'm away from it, when I'm outside of the shop, I'm not in here to kind of monitor things, I'll keep it down anywhere from 8 to 12 volts, maybe half amp range, because it is producing hydrogen gas. I'm in a very big shop, probably about 1,200 square feet, so I'm not really worried about filling the shop full of hydrogen gas. But when it is unattended, I will turn it down. I just kind of wanted to bump up the amperage so you guys can kind of see that it's getting that nice turquoise green. It starts out at the very bottom of the container, and it will slowly flow from the anode to the cathode, and eventually it will fill the container with this nice turquoise. Over here you can see a finished portion of some of the nickel plating solution that I have. It's probably 6 to 8 months old. It won't be this bright turquoise when it's ready at first. It will eventually, as you use it, it will turn more and more of that turquoise green. And every time you use it, more nickel ends up getting put into the solution, and it's just a repetitive process. Every time you use it, it re-energizes itself, and it will keep on. It'll get better, faster. You won't have to use as much amperage when you plate, as much voltage, because you'll have more nickel content. I'm going to kind of show you what I plan on doing on this video. As an example, I've got this 1954 QD15 magneto assembly. I'm going to be doing this throttle cam. As you can see, it's nice, original 1950s, oxidized, tarnished brass. And we'll probably also do the link and the stop assembly as well, since we're here. When we clean this up, preparation is really key on this. Anything that you put in a solution, it's not going to change the condition of it. It's not going to fill scratches. It's not going to get rid of blemishes. If you put in something that's dull and kind of dingy, you know, it's gonna look dull and dingy when it comes out. It might be a little silver and dull and dingy. If you want a high polish, you want that nice chrome-like finish, you're gonna have to prep your part accordingly. We'll take these pieces, we'll polish them to a mirror finish, get all the imperfections out of them, use the acetone to strip any of the grease, fingerprints, oils, anything that off it, and then we'll plate it. You guys can see potentially what it will look like. Alright, I will come back at the next step in the process. Alright, we're back again. The process here is done. We've got a nice turquoise green, but you can see inside there is a lot of debris. That is the anode base breaking apart, corroding from the process. So we'll be filtering that here in a second, and then we will get to prepping and cleaning our parts. Alright, we've got our solution done, filtered. We got the throttle cam polished up to a mirror finish. See that? Nice brass, but we're not going brass today, we're going nickel. I've got it suspended from just a little piece of wood with the negative hooked up to the part that I want to plate. positive, the anode. I put a new rod on there. You don't have to. You can clean these off over here. Reuse these, are perfectly fine. They'll probably last you for a year plus. I just like to have some that I know that I'm going to use to make solution, and some that I know that I'm going to use to plate. Just a personal preference. We're going to go ahead and turn on our power supply. Now, so we got 1 amp here at 8 volts. You might actually even be able to see it start to plate. I'm going to turn my voltage up a little bit. This is a little bigger part. Bubbles coming off. Sometimes on the bigger parts, I like to give them a little bit of a stir. Make sure that they're coating evenly. Tap them off every once in a while. We're just going to run this for a minute or two, and I'll pop it out so you can see how quickly it starts to plate. And generally speaking, the side that is facing your anode is going to plate before the side that is facing away from it. You can run multiple anodes in that. You can flip parts around. Some people use water circulation, like chemical resistant pond pumps. I just haven't found it necessary for me yet. Just going to pull this out real quick just so you can see where it's at. I think we're all of 2 minutes in. So we're already got a nice bright nickel shine. You can see a little bit of it's not getting coated yet. The back is a little splotchy, but that's only after 2 minutes. We gotta let her go for a few more minutes, then I'll pull her out and take some pictures. Okay, it's been in for about 15 minutes. I think I'm happy with the plating, the coverage. I flipped it around to the back, flipped it around front. What I'm gonna do now is turn off my power supply. And I'm going to go ahead and rinse it in some fresh water. It's just normal tap water. Nothing special. Just help get some of that solution off there. Let's see her come out. Alright. And take her off here. And that's just straight out. No buffing. You can still see a little bit of the scratches that are left over. The back's got decent coverage. Front's good. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up, give it a light buff, and take some pictures.